Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to the SLS League. And this is season one, and this is both divisions, Premier and Division One, in action today. I'm just doing a quick check to see if everything's running okay. Sounds like I am speaking on there, so fantastic, excellent. Right, well, let's have a look at the table in a second as we have a look and see what's going on my chat. I cannot see the chat feed again, which is happening for the second week in a row, but I'm sure I can do it through the YouTube instead. There we are. Right. There we are. Here we go. Here we go. This is it. Right. And at the moment, you see the draft at the top of the table there, 3 points clear of Big Time Belfast, who drew their last match. Portrush, 2 points further back, and they lost their last game to a team they were probably expected to beat in Ballycastle. GPR, Green Park Rangers, they are up level with Portrush now, and it should be those four teams up there by the end of the season. And the early form suggests it will be those two. The really as to where it's going to go for the rest of it, who knows? We've got the WC Stouts, a World Cup Stout teams who players from countries who have applied to host the World Cup but never actually managed to host it before. Shillelaghs, Ballycastle, Antrim, Glebe, and Samba hitting the bottom of the table so far, but anything can happen. You can see we've got 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and then up to 9 after that, and then that gap appearing in Division 1 this week. And what would really help is if I was doing it through the bit where I could see what I was talking about. That would be much better, wouldn't it? We can see that we have got top of the league there, Drumore on 15 points from 5 games. Cookstown for also 5 games, but they lost to Drumore earlier this season, so they have got 12. And the updraft, the other of our teams, they're on 9. Cliftonville following up, but already a -3 goal difference. Today's fixtures in there see Coleraine against Cookstown, Distillery, Lisbon Distillery up against the updraft, and Glenavon will be hosting Drumore, so 3 sides all away from home. And in the Premier, the big games, we've got Antrim, Ballycastle, 2 teams who are very close together in the table. Portrush versus Glebe. Again, it's one of my teams versus one of my other teams. Samba versus the Shillelaghs. And then we have got the draft against Big Time Belfast, the top 2 against each other. And Castle Stout there against Green Park Rangers. I know Scott's around and he would like to go first, so we'll see which of his teams get up there first. None of his, so we'll go to his Cookstown team and play there first of all. We see Gerard is unhappy, but he is being offered a new contract at the moment. I assume the managers have offered contracts to their own players. If they haven't, I will sort those out as we go in. Cookstown, not too bothered about a bit of fitness there. We've got Spinell on 91, but the rest of the team looking fine. Yusuf Hersi debut. Just let us know, Scott, if you have a squad number preference for this. I will just check here, if just in case you're not able to listen. It might come through earlier, who knows. My guess is auto, but we shall see as we look into that team. Yusuf Hersi making his debut for today in place of Marquinhos played recently, so it could be him. Let's see on here. Is it going to be 21 or are we going to have a different number going? No preference. It will be number 21. Thank you very much, Scott, as well. Lovely D'Alessandro, as I think he played the first game. Not sure if he's played much since. And he still has a set piece take, but I won't worry about that. Bill Oddie refereeing today. And we can see that, Gus Hurdle makes the first team, and Tommy Mutton as well for Coleraine, but the rest of the team. Chris Anderson, I think, is doing reasonably well. Anyway, so we'll get head into this, and I know that my commentary is a little bit fast if I put it onto anything else. That was fast. Well, that's not too bad, is it? So we got chances there already for Cookstown. They look like they're going to score the opening goal, but if only it was that simple. Drumore have been conceding lots of goals against teams who really shouldn't be scoring past them at the moment. And again, we get the breakthrough, and it is Robin. He's up there on an 8. The assist came in from Carlos Jacks, who's been scoring plenty, and now he's on the assist as well. I think he's one of the very top scorers in the league, possibly second top at the moment. Robin with another chance and Hurdle hacks it away. Espinal looking very lively at this point as well. 38 minutes into the game now, and we're still there at 1-0, heading towards half time. And a disallowed goal. I think it may be Hamill having that one disallowed there just before half time. It was, I think, Rory Hamill. Cooks down 13 attempts, 8 on target, and obviously the Coleraine one disallowed, so not even classed as a shot. Got John Terry on a 5, he's not really had anything to do. Got Espinal on 82, and then Torres and Robin are the ones who are on the top performances so far. Any changes at half time, I'm sure we'll be made aware of very, very soon. It's been decent so far. They've not, forced more goals or anything like that, but they certainly look like a team who are up for it. No fouls needed so far, and the Coleraine players have only got close to them twice to actually put a foul on. John Welsh, past master, there he is. I'm sure he was called for that yesterday as well. Down the other team as well, Chris Anderson again playing well, and it's Paul Gaston, not Paul Gascoigne, but Paul Gaston, who's their next best player. Just a quick word for half time. Is there anything? Give it a few more seconds. See what's going on. Play for now, please. I shall. When we get into the second half. And there's an early one. It's disallowed. Hursty was offside as Torres put the ball in the net, but it could easily have been 2-0. We've had a goal disallowed per team so far. Substitutes coming now. Noticing that John Terry's up to a 6 and Mendes de Silva is on a 6 as well. Condition wise, Espinal 78 and everybody else looking alright. Torres is carrying a slight foot injury though on 84%. And we shall see what will go on over these next few minutes. It's looking simple. Very effective performance, but I don't know. Could there be a twist? Cookstown need this. Every point against those lower teams is absolutely vital. Quick note to say thank you to anyone who's watched anything so far from this, or even given us a question about it. It's something that's done as a bit of a labour of love rather than looking for views and things. But hopefully there'll be some players that get picked up in this league who no one's really thought of before. Obviously our big teams are our big teams, but there'll be some others who you won't maybe have heard of. Strand coming on for Torres. Laziva Strand, I think, had played every minute of every game before this one today. Barry for Espinal, if I can make that move. And he is going to be swapping with Pa Modu Kar. And then swap with Welsh to go onto the left. That would make perfect sense. I'm pretty sure that's what that means. And if it's not, let me know, but I'm going to carry on because I'm pretty sure that that's exactly what you were looking to do. Here we continue with the game. There's a goal. It's Hersey, and the assist is coming from Ezequiel Gonzalez. He has got his assist, and Hersey then scores again. This time Carlos Jax gets a second assist. Incredibly comfortable now, everyone looking good, and Carlos Jax has now come off. He's got 6 goals, he's got 2 assists this season, and now he is off the pitch. I would assume D'Alessandro. Well, D'Alessandro's going to come on, so we know that, but is it just going to be as it is? We'll have a look and see what to do. There's always a chance of Gonzalez potentially going out there, or Strand dropping back, Carp front. Who knows? But I mean, it could just be this. Maybe dropping an arrow. At least there isn't the worry about it being just 1-0. Swap with Gonzalez. Lovely. 3 as it is. Coleraine not having a chance anymore. Strand has come on. he's not had a shot or anything, but he's played reasonably well. Just letting the game go. Tony Mutton with a close chance to pulling one back, and there's another attempt, and Coleraine really trying to get that consolation. Coming in right near the end, another miss. They must have had 4 shots by the end of this game here. But down the other end, chances again coming. One more maybe before the end. Strand, Alessandro Strand. Oh, he's missed. He's missed right there at the end. Joseph Hezzy takes man of the match with a 9. Robin also with a 9. Jax with a 9. And the substitutes, well, the 2 that played more often have done as well. Yeah, 4 chances, but only 2 on target there for Coleraine. 21 shots, 15 on target. Cookstown looking very, very good there. Plenty of passes, reasonably successful in the tackles. As we have a look at the possession, 55%. Tackles, yes, 76%. We move on to the next. Oh, I had missed that one, Scott. Sorry. You were the one about Gonzalez, Robin, but it was a win. Apologies. Right, the draft versus Big Time Belfast, and here is Big Time Belfast from Scott, who last time out, yes, I would say it was a draw. Buffon hadn't played quite so well, but he's kept in the team. Narrow, Zidane playing an attacking midfield role without the arrow. He has been playing reasonably well so far since he's been coming in. And Petit, Elias and Vieira, very, very solid look inside there, isn't it? So, yeah, last match they were playing wide men, but this time Cafu, who's been probably the best player this season for the team, he's been playing very, very well. He's had a man of the match when he hasn't deserved one, and he's not got one when he has, based on ratings as we are looking. But yeah, he has been playing very, very well. There's Arazu and Zeriberto undecided as to which one's a better player, and neither of them play in this game. Castle draft with Figo wanting to be transfer listed still, and Passos Ugly having some interest from Celtic. Now their last match was of course a win, because that's what this team do. 6 wins and 1 defeat so far from their 7. And as we have a look into the performance, really, I mean, you can see the big difference between this game and last game is the kit, and it's very, very solid side, and we see how they get on today as we go into a classic with Al F. Bridge refereeing this one. We shall see. I'll go to Scott first on the substitutes, because the other manager isn't here for the show, asking for enforced substitutions only, so it makes sense for me to go to the other one. Emerson with the first real chance of the game, it down the other side now. Roberto Carlos was involved. Riquelme Vesterbo making a great save. He has been certainly on form for the draft today and has been having a good season so far. Both goalkeepers have done what they've meant to do so far, keeping the score down to 0-0. 35 minutes, still no goals. A little quieter than last match, I think. And coming into these last few minutes before the break, will there be anything there? Nesta I think he's one of the absolute best rated players this season in the league. Roberto Carlos also stepping up there, so they are performing better of the two teams. But the chances, is it a little more towards Belfast at the moment? Possibly. Half time, 0-0. One extra chance there for Big Time Belfast, who have everybody fit enough to carry on for the second half. Kewell, Batistuta, Emerson and Walter Samuel are the ones who are on 6s, and it's the goalkeeper Buffon. They're on top form today after his poor performance last time out, and everybody is fine for Belfast. We shall have a look. I think there's quite a delay between my stream and the messages coming through, so I'm giving that a little bit of extra time at this point. How is everything else going? 54% for the draft. In the last few minutes we were very, very even in terms of what was happening. Fouls, not many, plenty of throws, it's what we like to see. We got Henri for Batistuta, and that is it for half time. Batistuta scored 5 in his 7 games, and Henri awaiting the first goal, but it's giving him 45 minutes to do so. Who's Beteagle? Anyway, let's have a look into the second half. Oh, that's not. Oh, it's a goal. Zidane. It was, of course. Looking into the teams there, it's gone into very fast commentary, so it's not one that I've controlled there. But anyway, Zidane it was who scored. I think he just managed to outrun everybody in that really fast amount of time. Zidane, the least fit player. I wouldn't be worrying about that at all. Everybody else playing well, other than Walter Samuel. He's had a good season though, hasn't he? I wouldn't be too worried about that. The narrow is the 10 narrow versus 6 central players for the draft is definitely looking more Belfast way at this point. There's no need for any substitutions for Castle drafts. So they won't be making any. Back over to Belfast. If there is anything else, we shall leave it. Thanks. Yes, that makes sense. Jump's got a very fast kick work rate now. Anyway, we head into the last half an hour, awaiting a second goal. This will be a big, big statement if Belfast can hold on to this one. They're looking. Oh, Henri. He looked like he was certain to score, and he did not. 10 minutes left of this game. 1-0 to the away side. The ball played in. Shevchenko has been playing well this season. They wouldn't have put it past him to have finished that Roberto Carlos ball, but didn't do so. And in those last few seconds of this match, Shevchenko has missed another one. Down the other end, Henri, Walter Samuel, chance, and we finished the game. Nesta takes man of the match, and yet again performs very, very well. But look at that. It is a minor shock of the away side winning, but then again, it shouldn't be viewed as a shock with the two teams as strong as they are. Really good performance there. Managed to completely outdo their opponents in the second half, which didn't have an answer. And plenty to be pleased with the performance. Patrick Vieira back in the tackling stakes. He hasn't made as many this season, but he's also creative in this game. Roy Keane, I think that's the second time this season he's hit the league high of 12 tackles in a match. 12 successful tackles. That is, of course. Into the next one, we've got Antrim versus Ballycastle. So Ballycastle, one of my teams last time out, they beat Port Rush in a superb performance, but they have lost Sergei Samak to suspension. It's Kovalchuk coming in to make his first start, and onto the bench the return of Radoslav Koluzny, who since he left the lineup in place of Lysands, he hasn't really found his way back in. Chance on the bench perhaps today. Antrim, good result last time, of course. It's Belfast we've just seen win their match this time today. Jesper Gronkai comes in at 87%, but this will be his debut after a good set of performances for the reserves. We've got Marajo. Is he Brazilian? Marajo. He'll be, he's Brazilian, I think. Remind me, Scott. He's all Irish, of course. Yes, he's in there. Chauvet keeping his place there. David Welsh. It's the Deco lost his place. Jafar and Hajcik were out wide with Agostinho. Gronka out wide with Hajcik playing alongside Makovsky for this one. Look at them. There were some great performances, weren't they, from the opponents previously, and of course for Ballycastle last match. Brian refereeing. Brian, check him out on the editor. I believe he's actually a genuine referee called Brian. Heading forward on this game from the anonymous arena. Nothing happening. This game has been pretty anonymous so far. Kovalchuk with the first chance of the game. He did not manage to succeed in putting the ball on target. And again, another chance. I think it was him again with one. So he's definitely looking lively. David Welsh was probably the one who came closest to scoring so far, though. Lysands has taken a yellow card. And Antrim just trying to turn the screw at this point. Before half time, can they get anything from this? It hasn't been the most entertaining first half for anyone. You can see that only Alexander Kholovko is shining in any way so far. 2 shots on target versus 2 shots off target. We go straight to Antrim. Look at how they're doing. Kholovko's won 7 first half tackles. I won't worry too much about 87. I think that's the ASAL players at the moment. There's going to be a lot of those at that fitness playing 3 games in 5 days, as they are doing some of those. Yeah, first half looking pretty good. Gronker at 80%. He's not really much of a concern, I don't think, at that point. And then over on Ballycastle, they'll be staying as they are for the first part of the second half. Little watch of Lysan's, but he's been having a good season so far for someone who really gets into squads but doesn't get an awful lot of action in other games. This is why he's been given his chance for this one. Eric Ejiofor having quieter first half to his defensive partner, but yeah, I think this has been reasonably good. So Cole is coming on for Welsh. We'll make these changes, and Marajo is going to come on for Gronkaya and swap him with Nahajek. That is what we've got. Lovely. So he's coming on, and I can't even judge his career because he's been at Antrim. To 60 minutes. The commentary is at the right speed to start the second half. Podres was in there with a chance. Couldn't convert it. I don't think he scored yet. He has had a couple of good performances, making a good partnership with Grzypowski. Oh, great saves, and it finished off wonderfully. Agostinho. It was about substitute time. We'll make this sub time now. Nahajek has gone off, so Stephen Reid is going to come on regardless. But is he just going to go into that position? Will there be any other changes? Well, here's Agostinho absolutely persevering and getting that goal. Liberta could only save so many that are coming at him in a row. So yeah, Reid is coming on, of course. He looks like an ideal candidate to just go into that position. Will there be any other changes at this point? Yeah, straight swap. If you want to do anything else, just let me know. At this point, I was going to make the Ballycastle changes, of which there'll be 17. Let's see how we get on with this now. Smirting, perhaps, coming off there. Get Kaluzny onto the pitch, and Kovalchuk is going to come off for Nikolai, which results in a few changes here. Varga takes the armband. Just a few more seconds if there is any other change to make. All good. No, it isn't. You're winning. Half an hour left. Marius Nikolai, I think he's getting his first performance of the season here. I think he's making his debut. Narajo certainly is. Plenty of changes have been made now. 5 new players onto the pitch for the second half. Berger coming close to pulling it back. Holovko still holding up very, very firm at the back. Antrim looking like they're going to take these points. Are they? Berger with a late chance? And yes, it's got to be. It is. Antrim, great result there after both teams had done well last game. Back to kind of more normal there for Ballycastle. Lysan's performing the best for them, but Holovko it was taking a deserved man of the match, and absolutely nothing on target for Ballycastle. That needs rectifying, you got to say. With that, Antrim's best player, clearly Holovko, 10 run tackles, but Steve Thompson putting in his best performance this season so far. Everybody else doing okay, and they will certainly be taking some real positivity going forward. Good game there, Scott. Good game. Enjoyed that one. But yeah, we see that there just wasn't anything going, despite the fact that 5 players had shots, and not one of them thought that they should put the ball at the goal. Into the Samba match, of course. Was that the game we were already at? Yeah, I didn't need to change it. Anyway, Ricoba, he's been offered a new contract. Arce, he's been offered a new contract. And Actually, is this Arce's debut? Yes, it is. Yep. Restrepo also is getting his first start. There's a lot of changes in here. Cerna, there's another one starting for the first time. Castillo playing a lot further forward this time with Recoba. Is it the first time that Cuevas isn't starting? I think possibly in this game. So yeah, if the 6 starts for these, he is now dropped. And the Shillelaghs, which one? I can't remember. I've even asked about this. They go with Rooney back up front again. Last time around, they did lose 2-0. They make changes of McPhail and Overmars were playing last game. It's Carboni and Wilcox are in for this one. Jason Wilcox starting his first game of the season. Benny Carboni back in the team, playing further back. I think he's had the most shots of any player in the division this season. If not, it might be Montana now, but he certainly was up there. Before Castellano is refereeing? No, he's not. Bob Ross is refereeing this game. Castellano is captain. That's the word. Captain. Early pace is even slower than the last game. We've had a yellow card, and it's Teddy Lucic who's had some outstanding performances this season. Another yellow card as Rooney was taken down by Ivan Cordova. We've got nearly 25 minutes in at the moment. Still on as even 0-0 as it is. Another miss. Pizarro missing the target. Eto with a chance, but nothing coming of it. And Teddy Lucic has gone. So we will see what to do in here. I mean, now what has been the precedent based on red cards for the manager? So have they been losing players so far this season? What has happened if they've had any red cards or any changes? I'm not sure if they have, to be honest. Would they play one at the back? It's an interesting question, and I'm going to suggest no. And I would rather play more defensively here than to say one at the back. This is probably what I'd be doing here. So it's difficult. Pochettino will be coming on. I know Arteta's been playing well, but he hasn't this season. He hasn't been playing fantastically well. Carboni has been doing pretty well. This is a difficult one. Yeah, I'm looking to do what you're suggesting here, Scott. I think Eto's been playing well. Arteta has been the worst player this season, but he's on the best performance this game. So it will be Benny Carboni coming off. And apologies, Mike, if that doesn't suit. But I'm going to drop the arrow of Arteta. He didn't have one, so leave it like that. Pochettino going into the back. Yeah. Any preference in future, just let me know what you like to do going forward from now. Obviously with Samba, we have the chance for a change. We're playing 2-5-2-1 at the moment. Everyone is fit enough. Everyone is doing alright, but obviously Cordoba has his card. Enciso, number 9. Captain inside there. 6. In attacking mid. Oh yes. Yes, very true. Mr. Manager. Carry on. It's hard to remember. My cover was blown when I changed names of players. Anyways, only us watching it, it doesn't matter. So, half time, 0-0. Just check if you want to make any more changes. It's 2 shots to 1 on target and 4 shots with 3 on target there. Straight over to Samba's changes, if there will be any. Maybe they'll go through to 60 minutes. I'm not sure. Although he's been making half-time changes today, so we'll look at that. There's nothing going on for the Castle Leprechaun side. Carry on as well. So the second half begins. Castillo with the first real chance of the half. And the substitutes arrive before we know it. 85, 84, Guigu, Restrepo 85. Players who are not quite on it, Serna on debut, Enciso and Pizarro, who's not been playing very well this season. Could be seeing Zamorano coming back on. He's had a few chances recently, Ivan. And some number of 1+4 probably isn't suiting him as much as his other number. Oh, that's a big yawn for the middle of the day. I'll have a look at the opposition who are holding their own. Pochettino's come on, he made a tackle, which was key. Mondragon having a great performance so far in goal. And yeah, you can see 5-2, 5-3 doesn't sound anywhere near so bad. Guigu and Enciso to centre midfield. No Arrow. And Bobby Zamora is not having any pizza. Lovely. Happy with that? Lucic, as I said, was having a great couple of games recently. 6.8 tackles per game. I think that's probably second in the league to Carlos Gamara. Maybe even ahead of him after Gamara's performance last match. He got a 4. I'd imagine we're probably okay to keep moving. You're listening to Dead Airspace. Just wait and see if we're all good to go. Guigu and Enciso. Yeah, they're here. These ones. Yeah. I got those changes, if they were the ones. Yeah. It will catch up with you. Yeah. We'll move on. And there's a goal, I say, straight away, and that was with Enciso moving further forward. He got the assist. Samba looking to do a great job for Scott today. Rooney heading towards an equaliser, but another stop from Mondragon. SLS have not looked anywhere near as exciting as they have done in previous matches. Rooney, though, always disallowed. It's Predrag Djordjevic offside. They're definitely looking to try and head back into this one. Can they get an equaliser? It's chance after chance at the moment. Last minute or so. Will they have one last chance? It's Rooney. He's done it again. That's his third of the season. He's now up to 3 for finishing and positioning. Oh, he's looking great, isn't he? It's his third goal in 4 games. Remember the name. Wayne Rooney. Mario Melchiot taking man of the match as he stood firm in that defensive midfield position. Got a feel for Samba there at the end with that one, but again, Wayne Rooney coming to the rescue for his team. I'll say 2 shots, 2 on target, getting a goal, assist from Enciso, and then Samuel Eto'o setting up Wayne Rooney at the end for a late equaliser. Pochettino not looking like he's covered himself in glory. Possibly has ruled himself out of the start from next match, but we shall see. Oh, it was a ruining one there, wasn't it? So we've got Lucy Stout versus GPR. Neither manager will be here for this one. There's a contract being offered. And interest from Ishwatching for Eleftheropoulos. Wesley Sonk starting and yet still in the 70s for fitness. I don't know what's going on with Sonk. Is he on fitness training of some kind? Because he's not really been above this one at all. But it's a choice. It's a choice from the manager to put him in. Let's see how he gets on. He's had a sub appearance. He's now getting a start. Over at Green Park Rangers, Nicky Butt is out following last match's 5th yellow card already for this season. It's 1 or 2 players who've managed that so far. But I saw Ronaldinho moving up front for this one. Oh, he was up front last game as well. As David Collins in attacking midfield. It's a good, strong team. And you'd put, away team, you'd put them as very, very slight favourites. Maybe David Belt, referee in this game, looking to keep a strap on things. Yes, thank you, Scott, for being here on the live stream. It's always nice to have somebody in watching just to make sure that you got that kind of, what would you do in the situation if something happens to a player? And there's a goal, it's disallowed. Ronaldinho, I think David Collins was the infringenator who stopped the goal from being a legal one. Down through the other team so far. George Arce, I think, is this George Arce's first start? Just notice him in the first team. Might well be. Let's have a look. Yeah, George Arce with a first start. Khalid Bebo on a first start as well. Looking at that. So there have been a few changes. Davidas back in the team. A few been out for a little while. They've had no shots, and the only shot of the game so far that's counted in any way is Ronaldinho. It's half time. There's Duliai struggling a little bit for fitness. Sonk obviously struggling for fitness, but the second half can be on straight away. We approach the substitutes with very little going on. Just to check and see. We've not had any other calls at this point, so all is well. For these 64, we started at 72, so he's only dropped 8%. And with GPR, no, Kieran Dyer on 82 is as low as it gets. Half an hour left of this one. No changes to either team. What have we got left? We've got 2 games in Division 1 and 1 Premier League game after this one, I think. So, game 5 of 8 being played at the moment. 83 minutes, no goals yet. A chance Collins blocked by West. Injury time is coming. Collins is taking a look at Cannavaro. Cannavaro strikes late. Straight down the other end, Table West with a chance. Barthez with a save. And a late winner. George Atos may have got man of the match on debut, but and his 7 shots on target, beaten. I know the other manager was saying champagne, but GPR will be champion at the bit to get their season going further and further forward. That is a strong result for them. Well, Ekada's 4 out of 14 tackles isn't the most successful, but it's a great performance for GPR. Portrush versus Glebe. Like I said, there's only 3 games left here. The final match of the top division. So the Yep is out for 2 weeks, 10 days, and Tomasi out for 2 weeks. I think it is. Yep. They've had some forced changes. Juliano making a debut, and Paredes, Carlos Paredes making a debut as well today. It's Juliano 2 for determination. Not quite sure what's going on there, but it's not looking like he's too up for the game, you'd imagine. Still frustrated about not being able to move, despite the fact he's playing every game for the greatest team in the world. Rabasandra Tana missing 3 weeks. Kahan for 2 weeks missing. And so we have changes here. Claudio Sain gets his debut in midfield, coming in from the reserves to make it completely. And Pierini is also making his first start after a good match for the reserves. Does it mean anything? Who knows? They're up against a real challenge today in Portrush. So it's the Dark Scions versus the Creams as we kick off this potential thriller. Early chances from Frissas and Sol Campbell. Campbell coming forward again. More chances. Hasselval making saves. Ray Parler, who is a hero of last performance for Glebe. It's one of those games where there's plenty going on. It's now got a bit of a lull, and Vrissas with a chance of Balmer setting up, but another save from Daniel Hasselval. Balmer now taking a yellow card, brought down Ray Parler. And there's Freddie Johnson with another chance for Glebe. We've had the crossbar hit at the other end. I'm not sure how this game is goalless. You've only got the goalkeepers to thank so far. Johnson, another chance, but he hit the crossbar as well at half time. 6 shots above Portrush, and only 1 out of 2 for Glebe. I'm pretty sure I saw more than that going for them, but maybe not. Maybe it's just those 2 Johnson chances I can remember actually commentating on. It's not been a spectacular game, but it has been an interesting one. Both teams will continue to 60 minutes. And a very quiet start to the second half for Ron with a chance. It's the closest we have got anywhere. Diop, Knopper, nothing coming of it. All 7s apart from Frissas, but he's doing okay himself. Is there anything to liven up this game? Francesco Totti coming off for Roy Mackay. That's one. Oh, not that way. And that's the change. And over on the other side, there's got a few people not quite on it today. Felicianco is going to be removed for Cafes. And I think that will be the only change at this point. Kufor will increase his run. And don't forget, next fixtures for these teams next weekend. So there is a bit of time out for them before they play their next match. Well, Portrush in a rush now, it seems, to get something from this match. They would not want to be losing points again after being beaten by Ballycastle last match. But Glebe holding firm. 10 minutes to go. Still no goals. Mendieta, Zambrotta, nothing coming of it. And there's Rissas. He does get a goal. He gets his fifth of the season. It's 1-0 late on. And another chance and a block. One last one for the opponent. Oh, Vitor Bayer makes a save. And then down the other end for one. No, that's the end of the game. And Wilfried Balmer, did he get the assist? Yes, he got the assist. He had 4 key passes. Portrush taking the points. But that was a great match to watch as a manager of both teams. Enjoyed seeing what that game had for us. And not really anyone performing too poorly. The ones who haven't shown there will still get a chance next game. There's no reason to take them out unless the players are back from injury. Castle Clear, the updraft. They are playing against Distillery and their team. If we look at how it was, we've got Rosicki Prutton in the last match. This time around it's Shellstrom and Joey Good Johnson who made it into it. But Prutton is at right back. And Yakubu is missing through suspension. And Donovan is being offered a new contract at the moment. So their numbers are up. Murray Walker in charge for this one. Dale Watkins is up front and he's yet to score and yet to get a rating of any sort of respect. You've got to imagine that this will be a sizable victory. Early chance for Jan Djordjic. Owen and Mido combined, but no goals yet. Ooh, it's much quieter than I imagined, but there he is. Robbie Keane. He's already had a hat-trick this season. Will he get another? We're just over half an hour in. Distillery still looking like they could cause a problem or two. Yeah, now very close to the break. Still 1-0. And I don't think that's going as well as it hoped for the manager there. 2 shots out of 7 on target. Distillery having had more shots on target so far than their opponents. Brian Strain, Chris Coffey. What a lovely team there. Yep, I don't see any reason to make any changes, but the second half will get started. Pelizzoli, Dunn and Saviolo on the bench to see if they can make any sort of difference. The difference between the updraft and the Dale Watkins has got the equaliser. I was going to say the only difference is that this team contains a substitute goalkeeper and the other 2 human teams in this division do not. David Prutton at 71%. There isn't a substitute. There's no ready-made substitutes for him at all. Even putting nobody to put into centre back to move Wes Brown out wide, so he just has to stay. There's absolutely nobody who can go into that position. And it was only enforced. It hasn't been enforced. I suppose we could say that. Come on, the updraft. Gotta do it. We're going to have those teams absolutely fighting neck and neck for the title this season. It was Dale Watkins, Cheltenham hero of Championship 3, who has the equaliser. Owen with a chance. Keane coming close to Johnson. Nobody can hit. Oh, there it is. There it is. It's Michael Owen. He gets it at last. 2-1. Is that going to be enough? It is certainly now. It's Robbie Keane. And the huge sigh of relief for the manager. 5 shots out of 5 on target for Distillery.
Yes, it was much better for them. But we do have eventually them getting over the line for the 3 points. Whew. Glenavon versus Drumore. And for Drumore this game, Kenny Lunt is recalled to the team. I think that's it. The only change. Sabolsky dropping out. And yeah, even on the bench, it's just the one change. Lunt is back in Pog form. So Keith for longer. Barry Morgan. Been having a good season, hasn't he, Barry? Dwyer Hill and Stephen Boner on the bench. Hopefully. The boners, the kind of thing you want to see when you're watching the internet at this time of day, isn't it? I'm sure. Glenavon lead. What is it about Drumore that just causes problems after problems? They dominated their first game of the season, and since then they have looked average. One down. Kivu booked. Something's going to have to change. The formation needs a change or something. Galco chances. Said has his chance as well, but nothing coming. Glenavon lead 1-0. Kutuzov not getting anywhere on it. Still 1-0. I may have to go on to silent in a minute if the people are back home. I will be cowering 1-0 down at half time, despite the amazing number of shots. The early goal from Gary McKinstry, who's now at 8 in 8. He's really on form. What can be done? I think that really there's not a lot. Second half starting with another shot on target, another one hitting the crossbar. Is it just you're gonna have to suffer kind of game, isn't it? Another chance, another one wide. McKinstry almost making it 2. Oh dear me. And as the substitutes come along, absolutely at a loss. Right. Well, Mark is going to come off for Rovnico. Agahauer is going to move there. Rotchek's going to join. In fact, he's going to go there. Cole's going to go there. We do that, we hope, for the best. Said gets the equaliser. And Agahauer scores to turn it around. But they're still all over them, Glenavon. Two one it is. It's still very, very tight. A third would be just what they need. So Sigalko denied again. Kutuzov denied. Any late third. Proshek scores his first for the club. Oh, 3-1. Wow. That was interesting levels of panic. Agahauer with 6 key passes. I think that's a new record for the division. 18 shots out of 25. Absolutely hammering the opponent. What a strange match. Quick look at wow. 1-0, 1-0, 1-1, 0-1, 0-1. Which sees, I know I've got the family back now, so I'm going to have to go. But the draft and Big Time Belfast lead the way. Portrush and GPR, they're a 7 point gap further back. And Drumore, Cookstown, the updraft, all up there after their results, all scoring 3. Thank you very much, everyone, and I will see you later on. Goodbye.